Now I've given you a mix of both types. Let us see. This keychain is the cheapest article in this shop. It is the cheapest. There is like nothing is cheaper than this. So what do you begin for that? It is not one of the cheapest. It is the cheapest. No other article in this shop is as cheap as this keychain. In today's video, the topic that I'm going to cover is degree of comparison, in which we are going to come across all these adjectives and the different forms in which we can write them. So the first form is positive, second is comparative, and the third is superlative. It's very easy. Smart, smarter, smartest. So if you pick out the word smarter and they ask you which degree it is, you have to say it is the comparative degree. Next is happy, happier, happiest. Beautiful, more beautiful and most beautiful. So in places where we cannot add ER to the comparative form or EST to the superlative form, we add more and most. Let us see what we have further. Okay, now in these sentences, I want you to tell me which one is this adjective. First one is, which form is it in? Clean, cleaner, cleanest. Clean is positive. My bag is heavier. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. This is the comparative form with ER. Best singer. Okay, this one is good. The other forms, the positive form of this will be good. The comparative form is better. And the superlative form is best. Good, better, best. Today is hotter. Hot, hotter, hottest. Comparative. This exercise is easy. Easy, easier, easiest. This is positive. Mount Everest is the highest mountain. Highest. High, higher, highest. This is superlative. English is more interesting than history. More interesting. Interesting, more interesting, most interesting. So this is comparative form. He is a kind man. Positive. Kind, kinder, kindest. That was the most exciting match. Exciting, more exciting, most exciting. This is the superlative form. My house is bigger than theirs. Bigger. Big, bigger, biggest. Bigger is the comparative form. Okay, how we change a superlative form into positive degree. Okay, now in most of your school test, I'll tell you how they are going to ask you these questions. First is type 1. Now all these sentences are in the superlative form. First let us see that. Gold is the most expensive metal. Most expensive. Expensive, more expensive, most expensive. Strongest. We'll read the whole sentences later. First let us just look at this. Strongest. Strong, stronger, strongest. Rich. Rich, richer, richest. All of them are superlative. Youngest. Young, younger, youngest. Wisest. Wise, wiser, wisest. So now from here we have to change this sentence into the positive form. That means instead of strongest we have to write strong. Instead of richest we have to write rich without changing the meaning of the sentence. Let us see. I'll give you certain hints of how to change them. Firstly, gold is the most expensive metal. Begin with no other. When you begin with no other for positive, it becomes very easy to frame it. No other metal is as expensive as gold. Ria is the strongest athlete of my team. Strongest, we have to use the word strong to make it positive. No other athlete of my team is as strong as Ria. Natasha is the richest woman of this town. No other woman of this town is as rich as Natasha. See, what are we doing? Instead of most expensive, we are using only expensive. Instead of strongest, we are using strong. Instead of richest, we are using rich. So this is how we are converting superlative into positive. Mr. Andrew is the youngest politician of this country. Come on, try. You have to begin with that only, no other. No other politician of this country is as young as Mr. Andrew. The last one. Miss K is the wisest woman of this group. No other woman of this group is as wise as Miss K. Now look at type 2, in which you have to make the same thing, superlative to positive, but it will be given in a different manner. Let's see how that goes. Okay, see how the type 2 is going to be. Again, all of them are superlative. We are doing superlative to positive today. Gold is one of the most expensive metals. Mind you, you have to write S, okay, when you use one of them. Now, what is the difference between this and the previous slide that we did? There we said gold is the most expensive metal. That means nothing else is more expensive than gold. Here I'm saying gold is one of the most expensive metals. That means there are many other expensive metals. Gold is just one of them. In this case, how do you begin the positive sentence? Begin with very few. When you write very few, your sentence becomes positive. Let us see. Very few metals are as expensive as gold. Now see, from most expensive, I used expensive. Ria is one of the strongest athletes of my team. So she is not the strongest. She is one of the strongest. There are many other strong athletes in my team. Okay. So now how we change this? Very few athletes of my team are as strong as Ria. Natasha is one of the richest women of this town. Very few women of this town are as rich as Natasha. So what are we doing when it is one of the most, one of the strongest, one of the richest? We begin with very few. In some exercises in your exams also they will say begin with very few. This is a very common question asked in grammar tests. Mr. Andrew is one of the youngest politicians of this country. Very few politicians of this country are as young as Mr. Andrew. The last one, Miss K is one of the wisest women of this group. If you write no other woman of this group is as wise as Miss K, in this case, you are not going to get your mark because Miss K in this case is not the wisest. She is one of the wisest. So what do you begin it with? Very few. Very few women of this group are as wise as Miss K. I hope you're getting it, guys. That's why I'm just doing one type in one phase so that there is no confusion and you are very thorough with what I'm trying to say in this. Now I've given you a mix of both types. Let us see. This keychain is the cheapest article in this shop. It is the cheapest. There is like nothing is cheaper than this. So what do you begin for that? It is not one of the cheapest. It is the cheapest. No other article in this shop is as cheap as this keychain. We change from cheapest superlative to cheap positive. The pasta is one of the tastiest dishes of this restaurant. Come on, guys. It is one of the tastiest. It is not the tastiest, one of the tastiest. Very few dishes of this restaurant are as tasty as the pasta. Tastiest, tasty. This is one of the coldest towns of the state. Very few towns of the state are as cold as this one. Okay. The kitchen is the smallest room of their house. It is the smallest, guys. Come on. No other room of their house is as small as the kitchen. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to write a test. Let us see whether you can do it well. Come on. Come on, quickly note down this. Either type it in your mobile, or that's what most people do these days, or write it in your notebook. It will be very, very helpful if you take all this down. Pause the video, take this down, and then I'll put up the answers. Okay, the first case. This is the most expensive suit I have ever worn. No other suit I have ever worn is as expensive as this one. You can also add no other suit that I have ever worn. That is also okay. Miss Ray is one of the strictest teachers of my school. She is one of the strictest teachers. Very few teachers of my school are as strict as Miss Ray. Radhika is the tallest girl in my family. She is the tallest. How to make this positive? No other girl in my family is as tall as Radhika. This is one of the trickiest puzzles I have ever solved. One of the trickiest. So what do you begin with? Do we begin with no or we begin with very few? We begin with very few because it is one of the very few puzzles I have ever solved are as tricky as this one. This was the best novel that I have ever read. This is the best, okay? No other novel that I have ever read was as good as this one. This one. Okay, those who have got all correct. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will put the next page very soon. Till then, bye bye.